The traditional stability of the Sokoto Caliphate is currently facing its most severe test of 2026 as a wave of communal violence has pushed the region to a breaking point that even the most seasoned leaders find difficult to bear. Today, April 17, 2026, a deeply moving scene unfolded at the Sultan's palace as Alhaji Mohammed Saad Abubakar III was seen in visible tears while addressing a delegation of distraught community leaders from the rural outskirts of the state. This rare and heartbreaking display of vulnerability from the Sultan follows a series of coordinated and brutal incursions where suspected Fulani bandits systematically leveled multiple Hausa agrarian communities, leaving a trail of fire, blood, and absolute displacement in their wake. The sheer scale of the destruction has triggered a spontaneous and fierce retaliation from local Hausa self-defense groups who have now taken up arms to protect what remains of their ancestral lands, leading to a dangerous cycle of ethnic friction that threatens to consume the entire northwest. The Sultan's grief is a direct reflection of the humanitarian disaster unfolding in real time, where the ancient bonds of brotherhood between the Hausa and Fulani are being shredded by the persistent violence of criminal outlaws who respect no religion or ethnicity. As the smoke continues to rise from charred granaries and homes, the tension on the ground has escalated into a full-scale security crisis that has forced the Nigerian military to deploy additional battalions to the border regions of Sokoto and Zamfara. General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, has expressed deep concern over the reports of unauthorized roadblocks and retaliatory strikes being carried out by local militias, warning that such actions only serve to complicate the official military operations. The situation is further complicated by the emergence of the Lakurawa militant group, which intelligence reports suggest is attempting to exploit these communal divisions to recruit frustrated youths into their extremist ranks. The Sultan of Sokoto has spent the last few days in marathon meetings with the Northern Traditional Rulers Council, trying to forge a path toward peace, even as the bodies of the victims are still being laid to rest in mass graves. He has made a passionate plea for calm, stating that while the pain of the communities is immense and the anger is justified, a full-blown civil conflict would be the final victory for the bandits who want to see the caliphate destroyed from within. Reporting on such a sensitive and high-stakes national crisis requires a commitment to the truth and a heart for the victims who have lost everything in these 2026 incursions. If you believe that the voices of our traditional rulers must be heard and that the safety of our rural farmers is a top priority for our nation, please take a quick moment right now to hit the like button on this video. Liking the content is the most effective way you can help the YouTube algorithm push this story of national importance to millions of other Nigerians across the globe who are praying for a resolution to this crisis. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell immediately so you never miss a single update as we track the presidency's response to this communal war. Your incredible support is the reason we can keep this independent newsroom running, allowing us to bring you these deep dive scripts and deliver the absolute truth about the battle for the Northwest directly to your screen with zero bias. By subscribing, you are standing with the communities of Sokoto and demanding that our leaders take the necessary steps to restore peace and order to the caliphate. The federal government has responded to the Sultan's emotional plea by dispatching a high-powered security delegation to the region to evaluate the friend of a thief policy, which aims to punish the logistics providers and supporters of these bandits. But the immediate challenge remains the thousands of displaced persons who are currently sleeping in the open air, having fled the retaliatory violence and the initial bandit raids. The International Organization for Migration has flagged this particular week in April as one of the deadliest for civilian displacement in 2026, with many families losing their entire life savings as their livestock and farms were set ablaze. The Sultan's tears are being seen by many as a final warning to the Nigerian state that the traditional structures of mediation are no longer sufficient to hold back the tide of communal rage if the government cannot provide basic security. There are now urgent calls for a constitutional amendment to give traditional rulers more formal roles in local security management, as the Sultan argues that the people in the forest are his subjects and he should have the authority to resolve their disputes before they turn into massacres. As we look toward the coming weeks, the focus of the entire nation is on whether the Hausa militias will heed the Sultan's call to lay down their arms, or if the cycle of revenge will continue to expand into neighboring states. The military is ramping up Operation Harbin Kunama to flush out the bandit camps, but the fear is that the ethnic polarization caused by these retaliations will make it even harder to identify the true criminals from the innocent locals. This situation brings us to a very deep and necessary discussion about the future of our country and the safety of our ethnic relations. When a leader as influential as the Sultan of Sokoto is seen weeping in public, do you think this is a sign that the security situation has finally surpassed the government's control, or is it the spark that will finally unite the North against the common enemy of banditry? Furthermore, given the total destruction of these Hausa communities, do you believe that the local people have a right to defend themselves when the army is not present, or does retaliation only make the problem worse for everyone? I am genuinely eager to read your personal, honest, and detailed perspectives on this massive national tragedy. Please go straight down to the comment section right now and share your thoughts on how we can bridge the gap between the Hausa and Fulani communities to prevent a total breakdown of law and order. Your voice is a critical part of this national conversation about justice, peace, and the survival of the Sokoto.